We could be in for an interesting week under the influence of gate 36, the darkening of the light, the gate of crisis. This is a gate as a part of the channel of transitoriness. It's a collective channel, and it's a part of this experiential way, which is about living life and having experiences that go beyond what we expect, that don't work out quite the way we thought that they would. And gate 36 is in the solar plexus, so it's an emotional gate. And it's very interesting because it's linked to our sexuality and vulnerability. So you can imagine the gate of crisis, like that feeling of maybe getting to know a certain part of yourself, feeling nervous about it, feeling vulnerable and exploring something, maybe having something go wrong, facing your fears around sexuality, vulnerability, feeling inexperienced and nervous, and then coming into experience facing your fears and coming out the other side more whole, more human, more wise and experienced. So those are some of the themes that are a part of this gate. And so that's why I said it could be an interesting week. You might have an emotional crisis or a feeling of vulnerability coming up. And actually, it was interesting that this is coming up because I was thinking about this morning, how often when I'm dancing, I experience feelings of shame and humiliation and embarrassment for my lack of experience, for my sensual expression, that like oftentimes I'm led into moments where I have no idea what I'm doing and I don't know what I'm supposed to do, and I do something that even could be very, very expressive, and sometimes I feel embarrassed about it. But it's almost like I've become so comfortable with these feelings of embarrassment, shame, inexperience, that it doesn't even bother me. I don't mind it. I don't worry about it. I just continue dancing. I have a lot of fun. I laugh at myself. And I think it's relevant to this week's gate, because when you get comfortable feeling, then it doesn't have to be a whole crisis. It can just be that you're feeling. And this is very much about learning to really feel, and also, to be wise. So like not jumping into things that make you extremely nervous, but waiting things out and feeling into it before you make decisions and choices. However, we can't avoid the fact that we're going to have experiences in this life. And I think that's what this gate and what this channel teaches us, is that, as humans, we are here to have this dualistic experience of feeling. And that can, feel like a lot at times. It can feel like we're suffering. And the point of that is to feel it all the way through and to learn and to grow and become wise and become capable of feeling it all. It's beautiful. In the gene keys, the gift of this gate is humanity, and then the highest octave of this frequency is compassion. So this is about like human suffering, human vulnerability, pain, and that wave, the emotional wave from pain to hope, and how that does make us compassionate. It makes us feel for our fellow humans who are in a difficult moment. The shadow frequency of this gate in the gene keys is the dark night of the soul and turbulence. Being, that person who's always in a crisis would be the way that would show up in a shadow basis ongoing. But we've all been there. We all have those moments, and that's what brings us together as humans. And I know for myself, having had very dark moments, that is why I have something deep to offer others. So let me know how all that resonates, if you have this gate, or if you experience this week. I'd love to know if anything happens crisis-wise. So I'm going to channel now for us for this week and see what comes through to serve us all as we navigate these energies. Be well and relax into the changes that present themselves. Knowing that change is inevitable and good as a part of evolution. We have offered you those words and that message before, and we will offer it again because it begs to be repeated and known over and over and over, that you're meant to change and evolve, and that the more you resist that process, the more you suffer. And the more that you embrace that process and allow yourself to shift and grow, and for conditions to not be what they once were, the more you really allow reality to be what it is and what it's intended to be. It's not intended to be constant and consistent, and in your seeking for it to be constant and consistent, you can hurt yourself with your own expectations. Conversely, when you allow for change to arise and come and to touch your life, to touch you, you become malleable and flexible and flowing and open to all that life wants to bring you. Your heart is open, you're expansive, you're receiving the shift and the change that life is presenting you, and it's very blissful, it's glorious, it's enjoyable. The whole process can be so ecstatic and surprising and amazing. And this is really what life is supposed to be. It's supposed to be this fluid, flexible, flowing, malleable, ever-changing interplay and matrix of energies. The rigid way of living and being, that even part of it is just because of capitalism and wanting things to be consistent for profit reasons. It's very unnatural. It's natural for you to be flexible and flowing and fluid and ever changing and allowing and experiencing, and things to be changing and different, and to not know what's coming. All of this is very natural, and as a human, you can really learn to be so adaptable. This is why it is so beautiful to be in a place like Cuba, Havana, for example, where things don't go as they're expected to go, and it's very alive and dynamic, because it releases you from the limits of how you think things ought to be, and allows you to really let life in. And that is the message for this week, is let life in, let it into you. Let life do its thing to you. Let yourself receive life into your heart, even if it hurts, even if it expands you and breaks some of your limits. Let it in and let life flow, and let yourself flow with life. What a beautiful message, and it's fun because as I'm channeling and sharing this message today, there's just so many ridiculous noises happening on the street. From horses going by with bells to reggaeton music and really crazy loud cars, and all this is happening while I'm filming this, and I'm just going with it. So it's very fun because it's like experientially basically living the message that it's talking about. Let me know in the comments how your week goes. I'd love to hear. It'd be fun to kind of get the report. On another note, I did an amazing human design reading this morning from my apartment here in Havana. The internet worked perfectly in the morning, so if you want to book a reading, this is a great time. I have 2 different readings. I'll link them both below so you can see what they're about. And feel free to reach out with any questions and follow my journey on Instagram. I'm sharing all about my dance journey. I'm having so much fun here. So I look forward to connecting again with you soon here on my channel. Bye. Enjoy your week.